Well, now to Georgia, which has an uncomfortable number of things in common with Ukraine. Neither belongs to NATO or the EU. Both are former Soviet republics, and both have a history of being invaded by Russia. In 2008, Russian forces started Europe's first 21st century war by invading Georgia. The conflict itself was over within a matter of days, but Georgia knows better than most countries what Russian aggression means. Earlier today, I spoke to Georgia's president, Salome Zurabishvili, and started by asking what her view is of what's happening in Ukraine.
Well, I'm watching the events with great concern for the Ukrainian population, for the Ukrainian soldiers that are fighting in such difficult conditions. I'm also watching with great admiration because tomorrow it will be 1 month that the war started. And I think that they have defeated all the expectations that this would be a short war, that Russia was so powerful that they would overcome the Ukrainian defenses. And they have proven Vladimir Putin very wrong.
Are the Georgian people straightforwardly on the side of the Ukrainian people?
They are completely on the side of the Ukrainian people, and they cannot be otherwise because we have gone through the same war in 2008, so we know what it looks like, even if the war in Georgia was much shorter, but the capacities of the resources, the military resources of Georgia are nothing close to what Ukraine has, and that is the reason why the Georgian population is very united, and practically you cannot walk on the streets of Tbilisi without seeing Ukrainian flags everywhere.
Do you fear that you will be next? And do you think Russia would try to move in to Georgia regardless of what happens in Ukraine, because victory in Ukraine is not straightforward, as we're seeing?
Ukraine, the victory is not straightforward, and it's already a defeat. Whatever happens next, it is already a defeat for Russia. It's a defeat for Russian power projection. It's a defeat because it has united Europe. It's a defeat because it has shown that Europe and the States are ready this time for sanctions that they have never been before. It's a defeat because now everybody understands what Russia is in essence and what Russian imperialism means. What will be next? I don't know whether it would be Georgia or something else, or whether we will have a totally different Russia. All of that are speculations that I have no capacity to make at this stage.
You're being very clear, but we are also reading here that Georgia is not straightforwardly united and that the governing party, perhaps even the Prime Minister, feels differently to the way you're speaking.
Well, I don't think that he feels differently. He has been more cautious, maybe, in his wording than I am. That's a difference of character, maybe. But I don't think there is any difference. The population, again, is completely united. We have 20,000 Ukrainian refugees in Georgia. We also have about the same number of Russians that have left Russia, and they most probably have left Russia because they do not agree with the way their government is launching this war against Ukraine.
The Western world meets tomorrow in Europe. Is there anything you would like them to do to guarantee the security of Georgia?
I think that I cannot not mention that after the war in 2008, we have had since then the European Union monitoring mission on the occupation line that has provided a sense of security. Of course, they are not there to defend militarily, but they are there to observe and monitor, and that has been something very important. And I think what is at stake tomorrow, and that is the peacekeepers mission in Ukraine, that would be an important step. And I think that the Russians know that, and that's why they are making against threats.
So how do you believe peace can be brought to Ukraine?
I think that the compromise is something that the President Zelensky is the one that should decide what is the compromise that he would be ready to accept. He has paid a very high price. His population has paid a very high price. And so the compromise is something that has to be in line with the price that he has paid.
And do you believe President Putin would respect a compromise?
Well, he will respect if he's contrived to respect. He will never respect by his own choice. And if the West remains united, if the sanctions remain in force, if he feels that there is strength on the Western side, and I think he will feel it, then he might respect.
Madam President, thank you very much.